Hi, I'm Shonal Rath.
I am Sevashree Mohapatra.
Welcome to our podcast, Living Room Conversation, where my mom and I discuss diverse topics that impact culture, society, and workplace. This is the second episode, Digital Detox in the Era of Metaverse.
So, Shonal, we launched the first episode of our podcast last month on March 8th, the International Women's Day. I was very thrilled to see the response that we have received so far. I must say thanks to all of you. Many of you said that it has been a unique concept. Many of you asked me why the name Living Room Conversation, and I'm happy to answer this question. When we were about to launch this podcast, Shonal and I were actually brainstorming about its name. The living room is a very special place that brings families, friends, and guests from various generations and background to engage in powerful, transformational, and even fun conversation. This is where we thought, why not call this living room conversation? So, Shonal, tell me what feedback you have received from your friends. I'm keen to know how your generation thinks about such conversation.
Like what you mentioned, a lot of my friends find this concept very unique. Many felt that it is a very cool thing to do, a podcast with my mom, because they felt that we were very open and transparent in our conversation. Some of my college friends are very impressed with you, actually. They felt that I am kind of lucky to have a mom like you.
That's very wonderful to hear. Please say my thanks to all of them. Let me share some feedback that we have received on social media. Many of you felt that the first episode was too short and advised us to make it a bit longer. I'm glad you all listened to the podcast and kind enough to give some valuable insights. We will definitely keep this in mind.
If you want to know more about us and why we have initiated such a conversation, please refer to our previous episode. The link is in the comment section. So let's start.
Shonal, we are going to discuss a topic that is impacting each and every family. And this is the reason why I want to take it up in our living room conversation.
I know it is truly a serious topic. We have been talking about digital detox and decluttering our mind, but the reality is so much away from it. The divide and the disconnect the digital world has created between the human beings and the ecosystem. I know it is impacting the bonding within the family members within the walls of their homes.
I remember the campaign Ogilvy China did back in 2015. It was for Center for Psychological Research, and this was what precisely highlighted in that campaign. And what an apt tagline they came up with. The more you connect, the less you connect.
The more you connect, the less you connect. How true is that?
Yes, its message was so powerful and relevant, and it resonated with one and all. The series of pictures used in the campaign reflected the sad and depressing side of the relationship. It exposed the growing disconnect between family members because of the mobile addiction, between parents and children, wife and husband, and so on.
I also resonate with this. Once I start watching reels, whether it is Instagram or YouTube, there is nothing that could stop me. Most of my friends have the same issues. In fact, they say that once they post any content on social media, be it Instagram or Twitter, they feel the urge to go back repeatedly to that content they posted, to check the number of likes and comments, and they feel disturbed when they don't see much appreciation for the videos and pictures.
Shonal, let me give you some figures released by a survey by Rescue Time in late 2021. That has been terrifying. A study of 11,000 Rescue Time users found that people spend around 3 hours and 15 minutes a day on phones. On average, people check their phones 262 times per day. That is once every 5.5 minutes.
Oh,
80% say They check their phones within the first 10 minutes of waking up. What about you, Shonal?
I have been guilty of the same. I do the same every day.
Americans spend an average of 50 minutes on their phone before bed. 40% use or look at their phone while driving.
That's very terrifying indeed. We do not actually realize excessive screen time most of us have. I know these have severe complications for both physical and mental health. A range of adverse mental health outcomes, such as psychological problems, low emotional stability, and a greater risk for depression or anxiety, are associated with this addiction.
And unfortunately, this problem will be getting bigger and bigger. And I want to bring Metaverse into this discussion. Many of our listeners may know what Metaverse is, and many of you would have heard about it. Let me remind, we are discussing about evolution of Metaverse and how it will impact our lives, how we should take care of our mental health, declutter and recharge.
I think I speak for all of us here, and even I wish to know. I think maybe you could talk a bit about what Metaverse is. That would help us to understand why it is a matter of concern for digital addiction.
Sure, I would love to explain a bit what Metaverse is. To put it in a very simple way, Metaverse is a parallel virtual world where one could do anything he or she wants to. Right from shopping to hanging out with your friends to attending coaching class for your competitive exams, there is actually no limitations to what someone can actually do on a metaverse. One may think we are already doing such activities on social media or online platforms, but metaverse is much more advanced than what we have experienced so far. Many people think it is similar to online games or virtual reality or say extended reality. It is partly true. One would need certain devices and gears to get access to metaverse, but let me clarify one thing here. Metaverse is much more advanced and facilitates a more immersive experience than what we have witnessed so far.
Oh, now I understand why Metaverse could be another level of addiction for both adults as well as children.
So let me clarify one thing here, and I want everyone to get this point across. Metaverse is the next revolution in the world of technology, and it is going to bring immense values to each of us. In this context, I'll talk a bit about evolution of internet. Metaverse belongs to Web 3.0, where web experience will not be restricted to desktop or laptop screen. We would be instead surrounded by it. From the business perspective, this will give the brands and the marketers rich and interactive advertising opportunity. The brands can dive into a whole new world full of innovation in advertising as well as marketing.
I keep on reading your articles on Metaverse, and it wouldn't be wrong to say Metaverse is here and it has arrived in real life. Let me refer to a Gartner report that was released recently. About 1 in 4 people is expected to spend at least 1 hour a day in Metaverse for work, shopping, education, social, and entertainment by 2026. From attending virtual classrooms to buying digital land and constructing virtual homes, these activities are currently being conducted in separate environments. Eventually, they will occur in a single setting, the metaverse, with multiple destinations across technologies and experiences.
That's right. We have seen the impact of the internet. It is not difficult to imagine how this new wave of technology would engulf our lives. Very soon, our identity might change. We would be known by our digital avatar. It is quite possible we might end up having a glass in front of our eyes all the time. Quite possible. We have seen these shifts in the past. Technologies dominate our life and we have moved from the real world to the virtual over the years. And this shift, Shonal, was so smooth and gradual that no one even realized it.
Let me refer here to a startup entrepreneur by the name Shan Puri. He had explained Metaverse very beautifully in a Twitter thread back in October 2021, and I want to read these tweets. So here it goes. So if you play this forward another 10 to 20 years, we will cross into the Metaverse, the moment in time where digital matters more to us than physical. Our attention used to be 99% on our physical environment. TVs dropped that to 85%, computers down to 70%, and phones to 50%. Our attention has been sucked from physical to digital. And where our attention goes, our energy flows. If 50% of our attention is on our digital screen, then 50% of our energy will go on to our digital life. Today, it takes some effort to take our phone out of pocket and look at it. Soon, some company will make some smart glass that sit in front of your eyes all day, all of the time. We will go from 50% attention on screens to more than 90%. That's the moment in time when the metaverse starts, because at that moment, our virtual life will become more important than our real life. Is this a good thing or a bad thing? Like anything, it's neither good nor bad. It's just a thing, a very different thing.
Shan Puri said it all. Metaverse could be another level of addiction, both for adults and children.
Maybe this time we are already aware of some effects of overindulgence with mobile and social media. We can take care of ourselves.
Digital detoxing is essential, decluttering is more so. So why not start it today? Let us set up some realistic goal. Take those baby steps and scale it up with time. If your screen time is currently 3.5 hours, try to reduce it by 30 minutes in the first week, another 30 in the following. Be mindful of your usage and keep a tab on your consumption. You might stay motivated for the first few weeks, and there is a probability you will come back to your old habits. So set a time to check your social media. Yes, it's possible. Keep it limited to thrice: 11 am, 4 pm, and finally 8:30 pm. Stop mindlessly scrolling through the timelines for unlimited time.
In addition to this, I wish to add one more thing. You can also keep the phone away while you are at home. It is almost impossible to put the phone away from you while you are in the office or working from home. After all, you do not want to miss the important calls from your manager or colleagues. What you can do instead as a practice is to keep the phone in a separate room after your office hours. This will help you significantly cut your screen time.
Yes, I think that's a very good point. But Shonal, I would like to tell you here something. However strategy you make, however you think that you are conscious about the fact, it is finally you who is going to do this. So without your firm conviction, it would not be possible. Think of all the benefits you would get from continuously saving the productive time you wasted by gluing the screen. You can use the time to read a book, or may beat your stress by turning to yoga, and still better, you can get out of home and stroll a bit around your neighborhood. Who knows, you might end up making new friends. And these real life friends could be way more exciting and engaging than the virtual world.
I totally agree. I think today it was a relevant topic, and I'm very, very happy that we discussed about metaverse. I got to learn so much. It's a topic very close to our generation, and people of my generation will definitely enjoy this conversation, and they will learn so much from what we have discussed today. This brings us to the end of the podcast.
All of you who are listening to us, a big thank you. Once again, we are looking forward to your feedback. Do write to us at demystified.initiative@gmail.com. Thank you, God bless you, and see you soon. Bye bye.
Bye bye. Thank you, everyone. Thank you for your patience and your time.
What do you think of these issues? How could we all together bring solutions? Write to us at demystified.initiative@gmail.com. gmail.com.